How's it, guys? Wannabe over here. So the whole thing I wanted to do is now do a video about predictions. Who I feel is going to win, who's going to lose in the tournaments. Yes, we're going to go through all of them, looking at the nice prize pool. It's climbing nicely, which is great. So let's get started. So first of all, we're going to go through the heroes and the predictions I then with heroes. So the first one was the most picked hero, which is Sand King. I'm not entirely sure of this one, but I feel like he's definitely going to be the most picked hero. He's good enough to be picked and used by each team, but he's not good enough to be banned. It's the only reason why I picked him as the most picked hero. As well, if we go to the most banned hero, it will be Io. So with Io, I feel like is going to definitely be picked a lot. I think it's either going to be picked a lot or it's going to be banned a lot, but I don't feel like teams are going to let him through at all, especially with a lot of the talent that is going through to this TI. I feel like, no, they're going to ban him straight up. Make sure that he doesn't bring that extra oomph that he brings to the table. He just works so well with almost any single carry. The saves he can bring, he just does so much with a person that knows how to play him. So the next one, we got the hero with the highest win rate. I feel like it's going to be Chen, because if Chen gets picked, it's going to be a very good reason. It's probably going to be in a cheese strat, or it's going to be in a push strat. Somehow, I feel like he's definitely going to be the hero that's going to cause a lot of havoc when he's picked. Then the hero with the highest kill average, I do feel like it could be the Juggernaut. He can get picked. Even if he's fallen behind with kills, he's definitely going to get kills. I feel like a lot of the talent that is there can play Jug and will play Jug if they get the chance. The next one of the most assists, I think, is going to be Spirit Breaker. He is good enough in the meta to do so much work, and I think he's going to do so much that he's going to get almost a lot of assists. Yeah, I'm not going to go much through that, but especially with the highest kill average and then the highest assist average, those two I'm not entirely sure. It might be changed near the end of the predictions, so I'm not entirely sure, but let's see. I'm going to be watching more pubs, looking at more research through the next few days to see if they're going to be the right picks or they're going to be my final picks. But these two I'm definitely confident about. The next one will be the hero with the lowest death average and the hero with the last hit average, both Terrorblade picks. The reason I think it's going to be Terrorblade is because Terrorblade is going to be a hero that's going to be picked. He's also in that sense that I think if they're going to if a team's letting him through, he's going through, finish, and that is what's going to happen. I don't think he's going to die a lot because of the Sunder, and plus because he's going to be farming to get to the crucial 2 items that he needs, Manta style, depending on what he's going to go. And plus with all those illusions, he can farm ridiculously. He can push a lane, do a few more jungle camps. Especially at that skill level, people know how to play it, and I feel like he's going to get a lot of kills. I think people are going to find a lot of his illusions everywhere. I don't think they're going to be able to kill him a lot. So that's also why I think he's going to have a last hits, is because of the illusions, which is quite ridiculous. Then the hero with the highest XP per minute. The reason I'm saying Dusa, yes, Terrorblade is going to be farming a lot, but it's going to be split with his illusions everywhere. He doesn't really get XP for that. So that's the reason why I'm picking Dusa. Dusa can farm and does farm nice. And normally when Dusa is picked up, there's huge stacks being stacked for her. Because like Terrorblade can't really take huge stacks. He's not strong enough to do that stuff, so he uses illusions to take multiple camps at the same time. So that's the main reason why I chose Dusa. The next one, the most kills, I'm just linking it up with the most highest kill average. That's why I picked Jug. It's just the two. So if the highest kill average, my prediction does change, it will still, those two will be the same. Then the hero with the most lost hits in the game, of course, I'm going to pick Terrorblade. He will definitely farm faster than Dusa. Dusa can take big camps at a time, which gives him more XP and does give her the gold. But I feel like Terrorblade, when he does a split pushing and he does multiple camps at a time, I think he's going to definitely have the most lost hits. So next up we have the team predictions. So the team I think is going to win is Virtus Pro. Yes, I feel like the 3 teams that I feel like could take it this year is going to be Virtus Pro, LGD and Team Liquid. They're definitely going to be the strongest teams, but I do favor VP above all because they have not won a TI yet. The reason I don't pick LGD, they haven't been that consistent. They seem to lose focus in some of their games, and that's why I don't think LGD will win it. Team Liquid are strong, and they are a very strong team to win it, but I feel like when VP loses to a team, they always come back the next year for revenge and they take it. So I feel like they are there and they're going to take that game. They're going to definitely take Team Liquid with a revenge match, especially with last year when they got knocked out of the lower bracket final. I mean, one of the lower bracket finals, getting kicked out. So yeah, that's why I think VP will win it. But you can copy it, you can do that what you want, or pick your favorite team. So the next one will be then the team with the most kills in a game. I feel like, and plus the team with the highest kill average. Of course, they're going to be linked to each other because of the most kill average. They're linked. The reason I picked LGD is because of their style of play. Their style of play is a lot of team fight and they like going for kills. Yes, I could have chose VP, but I don't feel like they do it because VP plays a bit of a variety of different styles. LGD's style hasn't changed and still will be the same. They're not good at split pushing very well, but they're very, very good at strong with team fights. They like team fighting, they go for the Roche, they like objective gaming. So I feel like if a team does engage with them, they will definitely take that fight. They want it because of the heroes they play, like Death Prophet and all that. They want you to come at them. It's the reason I chose LGD. So then the team with the fewest deaths, I think, will be Team Liquid because of the way they play. They like split pushing, especially if they are fallen on the back foot. Their laning phase is not as strong as most teams, but they do make sure that they win their laning phase, and they always trade towers, especially with GHs, Nature's Prophet, etc. That will definitely cause problems. Then the next one I want to know is the team with the most assists in a game. Of course, I'm going to link it up with the kills because I feel like because they're team fight orientated, they're definitely going to have the most assists. So the team that wins the longest game. I was really thinking VP because of that, but the problem is Team Liquid does have the experience and they've proven themselves multiple times. I feel like through this year they've proven that they can take any game late. You think you're winning. If you guys do remember a few matches they did play and they were busy losing again. I think if I can remember it was Olive Y. I think it was Olive Y and LGD. Well, stats from the previous TI and plus through this year, they have taken the long games. They know how to split push, which gives them the edge. They make sure, okay, you trade a rack, we trade a rack. So they keep the game either even or they take more than they're supposed to. You got Matama Man that plays the bear. You got GH that plays Nature's Prophet. So I think those are the reasons why I think Team Liquid will take the longest game. The team that wins the shortest game I think is VP, because if you give No One and Ramsey some heroes that go to mid game, they're definitely going to finish that game very, very early. I don't think there's going to be another team that can really finish early. Team Liquid haven't been very strong in laning phasing yet. Or strong enough in a laning phase, or consistent enough in a laning phase that I don't think they're going to take it. VP have been very strong in their early game to mid game. They normally fall off in the late game, but that's their style of play. So that's why I think they're going to do the shortest game. The team that wins the highest game, or the team that has the highest game length average, I'm going to say VP because they like going the mid game. Yes, they do finish early. It does. So next minute, the team with the highest game length average, I think it's going to be VP because most of their games finish in the mid game. They mostly finish about 45 minutes to 40 minutes. So I'm thinking they're going to keep it around there and they're going to do that. But they will have the shortest game. It does not make sense, but I feel like they're going to have a lot of long games. They tend to do so. The team that picks the most different heroes, I think, is Team Liquid because of the way they adapt to each team. Yes, if they lose the first game, the next game they definitely adapt to it. They change their style and they throw the other team off balance. For example, when I went and looked at how they croquis drafts, it's all mentality. For example, they will first pick the natures and in the next game they will not pick the natures at all. And they'll pick something totally out of the blue. So in that sense, that's why I chose Team Liquid. So the team that picks the fewest different heroes is definitely, I'm going to say, Fnatic. The reason I say Fnatic is because there's only a minimum of 10 games they must play. I think Fnatic will definitely make it out of the group stages, but they will fall out in the elimination bracket. I don't feel like they're strong enough, but I think they're strong enough to just beat most teams to get into the eliminations. Moving on to players. So the players with the highest kill average and the player with the most kills in game, I think it's going to definitely be Miracle. He has been really consistent with that and he does know where he can get his kills. Give him a hero like in Voka, Terrorblade, even might want to really see him with a Bloodseeker, but with Bloodseeker nerfed, I'm not too sure. But anyway, Miracle, I definitely think is going to do that. He has been doing very well with pubs, but I think he's going to also do well with the team. The player with the lowest death average, I think it's going to be Arteezy. The reason for that is the way he plays. He's always been that player that farms more than he actually fights. So he normally gets a few big items in fights, a few big items in fights. He always does that type of style. Then next we have the player with the highest assist average. I think it's going to, and the player with the most assists in game, I both think it's going to be GH. Especially if he picks up a hero like Nature's Prophet. He's got his Earthshaker. He's got a few other heroes that he plays that's also just brilliant. But I feel like because he's a Roma and he does a lot more around the map, I think that's the reason why. The player with the highest lost hits average, and we're going to say the player with the most lost hits, most GPM, and the highest GPM average. I think it's all linked because they all come with the same thing. I think it's going to be Ramsey. It could be Miracle or Raven is the other two picks I did think of, but because VP are feeling they're going to win it, that's why I linked Ramsey to it. So the next one is the player with the most different heroes. I think it's going to be Kuroki because of the way he drafts, and he's the more likely to change his hero instead of changing somebody else's hero. A lot of heroes do get banned, and I think a lot of heroes that he wants to play will be banned, but if he sees the opportunity of his heroes that don't get banned and it's open, he will pick that different hero to make that little bit of extra stuff. Moving on to the tournament. So looking at the tournament predictions, the total number of games played in the main event, I think it's going to be 50 to 54, not more than that. The reason I say that is because I think in the group stages, it's going to be, normally it's a best of two, just 2 games each, and then that's how it goes. Each one gets its chance on each side. If it's going to be the same as last year, I don't feel like it's going to be a lot of 2-0 matches as well. I don't feel like there's going to be any close games, especially in your elimination bracket, your first elimination bracket. I think it's going to be a lot of 2-0s, and it's only going to get tighter as it gets closer to the finals. Okay, looking at the total of heroes picked, the reason I think that's going to be only 90 to 91 to 100 91 to 100 is because I don't think it's going to be more than that. The reason for that is because there's a lot of heroes that won't be picked, and I don't feel like they're going to pick at all. So if we go look at the heroes, I can show you why. So looking at the heroes, there's certain heroes that I don't feel like is going to be picked at all. Abaddon, Alchemist, as well as Earth Spirit, even Clock. Sometimes I don't think Clock will even get into the pool. That's already 4 in your strength hero basis. Then we go look at the rest of the heroes. If you go look at your agility group, I don't feel like heroes like Nyx Assassin or even like Bounty Hunter and Ricky will ever be picked. I don't feel like they're strong enough, and they won't even be in there. Templar Assassin, I doubt it. It's only going to be situation, in my opinion, because it's such a greedy pick. People don't seem to play that often. I don't feel like she's going to be picked this group, but if she does, I'm wrong. But as you see, my point is that there's so many heroes that won't be picked. So if we look at the intelligent bases, there's heroes like Techies, which I don't think will pick at all. Like if he gets picked, the team is either going to be trolling or they feel like this team is really bad. But I doubt it because it's a TI. So heroes like Techies, Ogre Magi, and also Darkseer, I don't feel like will be picked at all. So there's too many heroes that I feel like that won't get picked at all because they're just not there. I don't feel them. I don't feel them in like any team can play them. If they do pick them, it's going to be very, very situational. It's not going to benefit a team at all. I don't think there's anything like that. So the total number of bans, I only think is going to be 81 to 90. Reason because there's going to be the first 3 bans are going to be fixed on certain heroes that are in the meta that are very strong. Like example, Io. I feel like that is the main reason why I'm going to choose a bit less. The most combined total kills in a game, I think, is going to be 81 to 90. I don't feel like a lot of teams are going to purposely feed. If they are losing, they're either going to call GG or the game will end by then. I don't feel like it will get any more than that. I think about 45 kills each team is probably going to be my max. So then the longest game of the tournament will be about 1.5 hours. I think that's reasonable. I don't think teams will either. I don't think there will be any games that will go longer than that. I'm thinking maybe a Team Liquid versus Pro, LGD versus Pro, or LGD Team Liquid game might go over that. But I'm very doubtful of that because I think they're both going to try and It might be very close games, but I think like each one will take quick games, and then it'll be the last game will be pretty long. But I think it'll be end under an hour or an hour and a half. The shortest game of the tournament, I think, is going to be 10 to 14, you could say 15 minutes. The reason I say that is just another team that's going to walk over the other team, and then they're just going to call GG. You know, we have to go to the next game. This is not going to happen. This is going to be more likely going to happen in the group stages, so I'm very strong for that game, about those games. The most kills by a hero in a game, I think it's going to be 26 plus. I think it's going to more. I'm sure there's going to be guys like Miracle, Ramsey, No One, Raven, CCNC. I'm sure they're just going to get that one time. They're just going to get that roll, and they're going to go over that. So that I'm very strong about. The most deaths by a hero in a game, I don't feel like teams feed on purpose. So 15 to 17 seems reasonable. There will definitely be maybe a hero that is going to sacrifice or bait himself because he's doing bad, so the team will use him as some other resource. That's the only reason why I think that, or that's going to be called GG because the guy is feeding too much. The most assists by a hero in a game, I think it's definitely going to be plus 36 because there's just so much going to go on. If I'm going to say there's going to be more than 81 to 90 in a game, there's definitely going to be more assists in a game. I can't ignore that. The highest GPM by a hero in a game is 1,000 plus. I feel like there's going to be someone that's going to do it. They did it last year, they did it all the previous years, and they're going to keep doing it. So I feel like, because last time I was wrong last year, I was very upset because I did choose loss, and I was right most of the tournaments, and then Miracle picked up his Alchemist. Ah, what a shame. So that is my predictions, guys. So I hope you guys can copy it. You guys can see what you guys prefer, what you like. You can leave a comment down below and say what you think. Maybe you guys give me a few tips. Maybe I'm wrong, but these are all a bunch of stats that I've looked, previous games that I've checked out. So I'm hoping it's going to be right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe down in the comments below, and see you guys in the next video.